and they don't know that I'm watching. God's watching us all the time, and we don't know it. And He's looking out for us, and He's protecting us, and He's caring for us, and He's working in our life like He did for Joseph. In the midst of unsettling times, God is with us. Know that as you go out in 2009, that God is for you, and that God is with you, and He's going to work for your benefit and for your well-being. Maybe not healthy, wealthy, and wise, but to care for you as His child. Noah was sharing a joke or story with me. I don't remember where he got it. And it was a young man kind of telling his father, he said, "Well, Dad, I want you to indulge all my wants and desires." And I kind of smile and I say, "Noah, that is the absolute worst thing I could do for you. Of anything in life I could do for you, that's probably the worst." So when we say God's taking care of us and blessing us, I'm not referring to the health and wealth theology of getting everything we could ever dream of. I'm referring to God loving you as the perfect Father who watches over us and leads us through the valley of the shadow of death and grows us in grace and in truth. I'm going to make a couple references to the movie Evan Almighty. Anybody seen that? I'm not saying it's a great movie and there's really some questionable theology in it, but there's some things in there that are worth repeating. There's a place in there when the lady of the movie has left her husband for a little while, just frustrated with what's going on, don't understand it. And the guy playing God in the movie is talking to her. And he says, when people pray to be closer as a family, to love one another, do you think God just zaps them with warm, fuzzy feelings? Or does He give them opportunities to love each other? When people pray for faith, does God zap us with faith? Or does He give us opportunities to experience His faithfulness? That's what unsettling times are. Opportunities to experience God's faithfulness. Opportunities for us to experience His love. Not for a bed of roses when we oblivious to everything that's going on because everything's so great. But God is with us. That He would draw us near through our hardships and through our struggles, that we would look to Him. And we would see that it's His hand that carries us. And we would realize that the footprints in the sand is pretty good theology. That God is the one carrying us through those times. And that He's faithful. And that He's good. We're under divine protection of God as we go forward as His children. His hand is upon us as we go into 2009. Whether it bring medical news or financial news or relational news, maybe political news, that things really, as a nation, aren't going so well for Christianity. But God is with us. And He's promised never to leave us nor forsake us. And the writer of Hebrews, he takes that verse and he says, "Therefore I shall say, the Lord is my helper. What can man do to me? I will not be afraid. Because God is at my side. And when times get tough, I'm in His hands. And He carries me." The world of Joseph was an unsettling world like ours. He was under divine protection and guidance like we are. But Joseph was called to obedience and to faithfulness. He didn't just sit back and say, "Okay, God, I'm just going to watch you." Very rarely does God say to do that. He did it once or twice for the nation of Israel. He said, as the battle starts, I want you to get up on top of this hill so you can watch me work. He does that occasionally. But most of the time, He says, get up and go. Step out in faith and see that I'm faithful. See, Joseph, God chose him to play a part in this story. When the angel come to Joseph and said, "Do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for that which is conceived of her in her is of the Holy Ghost." It says, "She shall give birth to a son, and you shall name him Jesus." for he shall save his people from their sins. And when Joseph awoke from that dream, it says he got up and did what the angel told him. He took Mary as a wife, kept her a virgin until Jesus was born, and named the son Jesus. He had a part to play. In the text for today, God told Joseph, get up, take the child and his mother and flee to Egypt, and remain there until I tell you. Didn't say for 2 years or 5 years or 10 years. You just stay there until I tell you. It'll be all right. Trust me. Then it says, so Joseph got up and took the child and his mother while it was still night and left for Egypt. He got up and did what God wanted him to do. He didn't hesitate. He didn't say first thing in the morning. He left right then and right there. And Herod died. An angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream in Egypt. And he said again, get up, take the child and his mother and go into the land of Israel. And Joseph did that. In our life, as we head into 2009, God is with us. But God calls us to be faithful to Him too. God calls us to walk in His ways and be obedient to what He's called us to do.